I have received quite a bit of praise over the last couple of days because of how efficiently these lightning talks have been and how little you've seen me. So I'm going to waste a bit more of your time to thank the AV staff who've actually spent more time on stage than me, making sure that our lightning talk presenters are ready to go whenever I ask them to be ready to go. Thanks, the AV people. You are awesome.
I know. I forgot my power supply, so the screen's blanking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, so thank you very much for making me look good.
I'm
Richard
trying to find it.
is still
Trying to find these slides. Oh, that's not right. That'll do.
It's not.
Apparently, I've still got.
We ready for this one yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, everybody, please welcome Richard Jones.
All right. Okay. That looks really cool on my screen. I'm sorry, it doesn't look cool for you. Anyway, it does at least have the correct year. Oh my God. So, this has been a real PyCon. As always, it's the end of, well, quite an experience. So, I'm tired. But we'll bang on through. We've got a few things to get through, but we'll hopefully get through them reasonably quickly. What have we got? First up, oh, again, that looks so much cooler on my screen. There's clouds, it's really nice. I want to give a shout out to PyConAU alumnus, Kate Davenport, who along with Chris Neugebauer, as with most years, have designed the artwork that goes on our t-shirts and accompanies a bunch of other things in the conference, inspired by Monty Python, as is only appropriate. So look, thank you so much, Kate and Chris. Okay. We have a whole heap of videos already up on YouTube. Ryan has done, in the AV team, has done an amazing effort in getting them up so quickly. I don't know the exact count, but it's a lot, including videos from today. So thanks again to Ryan and the AV team. Can't actually see. All right, the sprints, right. The sprints this year are not in this venue. Just so we're all very clear, we couldn't get space in this venue, so the sprints are over in the Arts Centre. It's a really nice room over in the Arts Centre. It's called the Pavilion. It's in the theatres building, which is the central building of like the arts row of 3 buildings, consisting of Hamer Hall, the theatres building, and the gallery. Don't go into the gallery. It's really nice, but that's not where the sprints are. Just so we're clear, this is a map to get to there from here. It's across the road from the lovely gardens there. You really can't miss it. It's kind of obvious when you get near it. You can't quite see it from here because they've made a whole heap of buildings between here and there. But yeah, we're underneath the big spiky thing. And it's reasonably easy to find the pavilion room once you're at the front door. And the staff there are very helpful if you do get lost. The sprints run from 9 o'clock till, wait a second, what did I say? 6 o'clock. And we'll be doing a bit of setup in the morning because we've got to transport some stuff from here to there. So the power won't be connected straight away, but we'll be connecting the power in the morning as we get set up. So that's the sprints, right. Now, I do need, again, I want, again, to invite you to thank our sponsors. In particular, our platinum sponsor, IRS. And WSP Digital, our other platinum sponsor. Our gold sponsors, Arnet, thanks for the internet again, Reese Tech, and Google. University of Melbourne, Django, Biari, Django Software Foundation, Biari and Elastic all sponsored our specialist tracks on Friday. And of course, all of our other lovely sponsors helped us put on lunch, which was touch and go for a while there, but we did end up having the money to put on lunch, which I think we'll all agree was pretty fantastic. And a big shout out again to Linux Australia, who are the parent organisation for PyConAU. And without them, we wouldn't have the legal framework or the bank account, really, to run the event with confidence. So thanks to them. And finally, a big shout out to the contributors, the organisation and individuals who go that extra step to pay a little bit more to keep the conference going. So thanks to those contributors. Okay, now the next bit's probably going to take a little bit. Can I have all of the volunteers up on the stage, please? Come on. Come on, folks. Now, don't worry, we'll do the team as a separate thing. There's not enough room on the stage because there's a lot you can see. Oh my lordy, yeah. Wow, this is the community at work right here. All right, I'm going to have to ask for some help here. We've actually come up with a little bit of a special gift just for the volunteers. So Winnie, if I can ask you to start at this end and give everybody one of these bookmarks. It's the, I don't actually know if I can, you're not all going to be able to see this, but it's basically, would you mind giving one to everybody from this end, please? It's a wooden bookmark with the artwork from the T-shirt and the mug with a bit of clouds on it. It's like rather nice. Yes. So thank you so much to all the volunteers. Okie dokie. And we also have mugs for everyone, which we'll give to you afterwards. We just weren't organised enough to have them in here. So thank you all. And if you could now go away. And come back again next time. Alrighty. I do want to give a shout out to the folks who helped with the program this year. The program committee was kept deliberately anonymous. So could you all stand? No. But an awful lot of effort went into reviewing and selecting the talks this year. We had, as with all things this year, record numbers of responses to the call for proposals. And so it was a much bigger task than it usually is. So a big thanks to all of those program committee folks. Okie dokie, now let's have the team up on the stage, please. Everybody, up you come. That includes you. Russell, yeah, Russell, if you were in this, yeah, up. Specialist track people as well, please. Specialist tracks as well, yep, up you come. Yeah. These, do we have Stephanie? Yep, all right. All right, now I have actually, because the team actually gets to see the slides before I present them, so I have to keep these notes secret. I do have some special call-outs here because everybody on stage here has basically put in time outside of the event to help run the event. So while the volunteers are amazing on the day, these folks have been involved months in advance, and in some cases years, because they've been involved in multiple runnings of the event. So Ryan Kelly. Where's Ryan? Hi. You hide away. Oh, look, you're all going to get a gift, but I think we'll work on that, won't we? Do you want to, I don't know if you'd like to do your thing as well. The Linux Australia folks also have a gift for the team members as well. Maybe we could do that at the same time. Yeah. So Ryan has been with me from the start. Working on the budget right at the start, before most of the other team were involved. And then when I unfortunately came down with gastro on the first day of the conference, he was there without a blink and took up the reins, and for 2 days ran the conference on the ground without even blinking. So, like, a huge thanks. Yeah, so if you, I don't know how we want to do this.
Alphabetical.
They're alphabetical. That doesn't help me.
Well, what I'm going to do.
Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do this later. We'll do it later.
We'll organise it amongst ourselves.
Yes,
Yes,
we will.
okay.
We'll do this later.
We do have one special one I want to give
Oh,
away.
okay. All right. Well, I got a few more people to get through. So Clinton, where's Clinton? Yeah. Oh, there you are, hiding again. Trying to hide again. Look, Clinton has been, again, with us from practically the start. He also ran PyConAU in Brisbane for 2 years. And Clinton is, as far as I'm concerned, he's the rock that is the foundation for PyConAU. He's always there, and he's always been supportive, which sometimes includes saying rude words when we're doing the wrong thing, but it's important for us to know. So thank you so much, Clinton. Nick is, I think,
Down there?
no, Nick Seidman is, he's not here. SSL Nick. That's just cruel. Nick was instrumental in getting the website going. Without him, we wouldn't have it. So he put in a lot of effort very early on getting the website up and running. So it's just a huge thanks to Nick for getting it up and keeping it going. And speaking of the website, Chris,
Yeah.
hello, for not only being there for doing the artwork and other support, but also for being there for producing the software that we ran the site with, and also being there supporting us with that. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Aha. Tennessee has been with us both years, running the program and also helping out in a million other ways. And Stephanie, his partner, who has also been there for us this year in particular, just going over the fine details. And without them both, we would have missed a lot of things. So thank you both. Javier. Oh man, just not giving up and keeping on with those sponsors, some of whom I cannot believe you kept after, but really, without you, we just wouldn't have had the budget. So thank you so much. Claire, hello. Claire single-handedly, basically, ran the childcare, which was a first for us this year, so there was lots of learning as we went along, lots of things that we had to deal with that we just didn't think we were going to have to deal with. And so a huge thank you to Claire for making that just a huge success. Gagan hiding out the back there. Who has wrangled our volunteers for the second year running, basically taking that whole workload off the rest of us and looking after the volunteers and making sure everything is done that we need to get done on the day. So thank you, Gagan. And finally, a huge thanks. Where's Ryan? Ryan, I just have to say thank you again to Ryan, not only for the AV on the day, like getting those videos out is amazing, but the amount of work that Ryan has put in before the event in liaising with the venue and dealing with all of the technical setup for months in advance of the event is just, I couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Okay.
Can we stay on this slide?
Oh,
Have my mic, please.
yes.
Hello. Hi. I remember a few years ago, well before this Melbourne rotation started, when there was a certain person who's on this stage was lamenting about how PyCon Australia was never going to make it to Melbourne at this rate. And after a few months, years or something like that, he finally came to and decided that he was going to be the person to do it himself. After having been instrumental in getting this conference started back in 2010, so long ago now. Richard's been absolutely fantastic at building this team and making this conference happen and keeping PyConAU absolutely fantastic. And on behalf of the team, I know that you're probably not in a state to drink it at the moment.
Oh, I am.
But I have some lovely Japanese Distillers Reserve whiskey for you on behalf of the team. Richard's pretty fantastic. Sorry.
Sir, I'm going to have to take... Yes. Thanks. And I will very much enjoy that, thank you. It's a little known secret that whiskey keeps the conference organiser sane. So, all right. Thank you all. If you'd like to, we'll definitely organise the gifts after this. We're not going to be able to do it now. But please hang around. We've got a bunch of stuff to do afterwards. But yes, thank you so much. Sir, you haven't left the stage yet.
So I'm the official LA rep for this closing. You might recognise me as a former treasurer of PyCon. If you ever wonder where the ex-PyCon organisers go to die, now you know. I saw Richard thanking Linux Australia, and Richard, that was very nice, but I really think you're thanking the wrong people. To explain that, I'll give you a bit of history. Linux Australia started as an exercise in insanity when Rusty Russell, who some of you will recognise, decided to fund a conference on his credit card for the tune of $45,000, I think it ended up in the end. And it ended up being a success. And when I said it was insanity, it definitely was, because he made a big profit. He said, what am I going to do with this profit? So what he did is he gave it to a bunch of self-elected people who ended up being Linux Australia. If you want an event that typifies the ethos of Australian open source, that was it. Since then, the open source community in Australia, and by that I mean the people in this room, have consistently elected people who have kept kicking the can down the road, who have sponsored one conference after another. Most have made profits, which has made the profit grow. Some have made losses. Those losses weren't failures. Those losses were also to the tune of $40,000 or $50,000. I know. But no one lost their house. The conference was held, and they still have their partners. So when you're thanking Linux Australia, there is this funny thing, Linux Australia. It's an outgrowth from all of you, of our philosophies. And when you see the registration in your registration, tick this if you want to be a member of Linux Australia. What we're asking you to do is to tick a box that says, yes, this is our thing, I want to be part of it, I want to continue organising things in a distinctly Australian way, from a distinctly Australian perspective, which hasn't been replicated elsewhere in the world. The only comment I've seen publicly on it was from LWN, Linux Weekly News. He said, I don't know how it works. No one in the USA knows how it works, but it does. All right. So we don't do much, really. We offer, as you said, a legal entity, insurance, funding, bank accounts, accounting. We hassle them over their accounts, make sure that they're not going to show a loss, and also the one thing we don't do is any work. We appoint people. We don't appoint people, actually. We rely on bunnies like this one to stick his hand up and say, why the hell haven't you had it in Melbourne yet? And then things naturally happen. I'm sure their friends say, Richard, it's a trap.
Actually, that's the problem, is my friends didn't.
It's skillfully set by all of us. They offer you money, they offer you funds. All you have to do is run the thing.
Yeah.
And Richard did. And Richard, as Treasurer of Links Australia, I have to say, between Richard and Ryan, have done a remarkable job in front of very difficult circumstances. They've had to do U-turns to make this thing come in, and I am just in awe of them all. So we're going to give Richard a special gift. Maybe Richard could open it and show everyone, and try and look pleasantly surprised, because we made a guess.
Oh my God, okay. Oh, I'm not sure what I'm actually looking at. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, that is great.
Congratulations,
Yes,
Richard, on
that
a
is-
wonderful 2 years, and thank you from Links Australia.
That is going to be most appreciated. Thank you, sir. Based on the state of my neurons, it's hard for me to assimilate new information at the moment, but it's a comics voucher for All Star Comics, which is very much appreciated because I'm a big comics fan. Okay. I'm not sure I'm driving this properly. We've already done that. Okay, so I do need to give a shout out to Kiwi PyCon. I hope I got the dates right here. Yep. Which is great. Kiwi PyCon is a similar event to this. It's community run, it's a lot of fun, there's always a lot of really interesting talks. If you are able, hop over the pond. It's not very far, it's pretty cheap to get over there. It's pretty cheap when you get there as well. It's certainly cheaper than Melbourne usually, but it's well worth it. So if you can, go for it. Do you have a CFP or anything going?
CFP has just launched, so as of right now, before your fourth beer tonight, get at least one submission in.
After the third is a good time, actually.
And that site, that URL, kiwi.pycon.org, which kiwi.pycon.org rolls off the tongue, isn't the site anymore, but it should still forward to the right place.
Good.
Python.New Zealand, python.nz.
Python.nz, okay.
Python.nz.
I should, yeah. The pycon.org domain, we also have an au.pycon.org, but we don't tend to promote that either, so yeah. It's
Org.pycon.kiwi also works.
not even going to ask. Okay. Oh, yes, as has been mentioned so many times, especially this morning at Katie's wonderful keynote, this is the conference held for and by the Python community. So thank you everyone so much for coming. And I do hope to see a lot of you at the sprints. And I hope to see all of you, hopefully, at the next event. So, the next year, I'm done. Someone else take over. Oh, I have to stay, but I'm leaving.
You need more claps.
Oh. Thank you. All good?
Yeah, you needed all the claps. Plus, I needed emoji on the slide. Hi. So, yeah, we've been in Melbourne the past 2 years, which means it's time for handover. And you know how I said that I hadn't run a conference yet? There's flames under the balloons, and we're lifting off, and we're going to Sydney. And I want all the wonderful people to come on up because I'm going to tell everyone about what we're doing. So I want our wonderful treasurer, our wonderful papers chair, my 2IC, where is she? There she is. Woo! And you up. Yes. Who else? Is that it? No. Maybe. Anyway, I've roped some really wonderful, suggestible people into running another conference. So we are going to be at the International Convention Centre next year. We are going to be running a conference at this convention centre on the 24th and 26th of August next year. Woo! We will have enough space for hopefully 800 people. This year was 700. We keep on growing. It's amazing. We have an amazing space. We have some really interesting keynotes and other little things up our sleeves. And you should make sure that you go to the website to make sure you record all the details and keep it in your calendars for next year because you're coming back, right? Yes? Woo! Yay! Yes. That's the end of the slide deck. What's supposed to happen now, Richard? Where'd he go? To the pub?
Yeah, thanks everyone. You can go now. There's a few T-shirts left at the Rego desk. Please grab them on the way past. But otherwise, thank you all so much for coming. See you next time.